So now let's stay down on this legal route. We're talking about trademarking, copywriting, and patents. And I know for new business owners, sometimes they have ideas and they're looking for investors or partners. What is an NDA, and why and when do you use one?
So an NDA is a non-disclosure agreement, okay? And the purpose of a non-disclosure agreement is, let's say, for example, that you have a great invention and you want to go to a manufacturer, okay? So you go to that manufacturer and you make them sign a non-disclosure agreement. Basically, what you're saying to them is, I have something very special. I'm going to show this to you, but only for the purpose of getting a quote and nothing else. If you go and you manufacture this without us having a contract, or you go and sell this, or whatever the case might be, then you would have a cause of action against them. Basically, you're making them promise that they're not going to tell anybody else about what they're about to see. And so I would really use that when it comes to any new process that you've come up with and you're going to potential investors. If you have a product and you're going to a manufacturer, you might want to use a non-disclosure agreement. For example, if there's certain data that you have, and that data is proprietary to you, or you've spent a lot of time gathering that data. Because what happens nowadays is that when we send files, we're sending them through the computer. And a lot of times it's not like you're showing them a piece of paper and you could take it back with you. You're sending them a file, and you want to make sure that that file is protected, that either they delete it, that it's, it stays safe. So that's why I would use a NDA.
So what about in terms of, you have an LLC, you have a small business, and you're looking to onboard people? So you brought up the manufacturing example. What about if I'm trying to hire people? I'm trying to hire someone. I'm bringing on interns. Is this also a good time to use an NDA?
Yeah. So in that scenario, I wouldn't necessarily call it a non-disclosure agreement. I would call it more like a confidentiality agreement, and I would probably make that as part of their employment contract, or employment agreement, basically saying that our names, our contact list, our processes, these are all considered confidential. That once you leave here, you can't share this with your new employer, and you can't take this and compete against us. So I think that would belong more in a employment agreement rather than a standalone non-disclosure agreement.